Good morning, kids. Welcome to Mike Talk on a Wednesday morning. Well, maybe it's not Wednesday morning for you, but for me it is. I'm waking up with some coffee, working on a sermon today, getting ready to preach the gospel again this Sunday. We continue the series called Wisdom and Power, and we'll be at the Chateau at 9 and 10:30. You can bring your kids anywhere under 5th grade and register them, and we have a great kids program for them at the 9 o'clock hour and 10:30 hour for those of you who like to sleep in or maybe have a little further to drive. Hope to see you guys there Sunday. If not, hope to see you right here at Song and Sword on the YouTube channel, and I'll have another sermon for you. Pray for me this week, praying for you. We have some really exciting, I can't break the news yet because it may not be news. We're praying to God about it, and it may not be news, but there is a place in town that looks very promising, and we're checking it out today with our leadership team. And then I've got a meeting with some leaders tomorrow. So would you pray for us, please? Pray for wisdom. I really just believe that the next step for Song and Sword is for God to give us a building where we can call home and we can do ministries of so many kinds. And the Lord can grow us there. So pray for us, please. Pray for us. I covet your prayers. Pray every day at 1:49. Today specifically, would you join me at 1:49 praying about a building for Song and Sword? And of course, I'm praying for you. Text your prayer request to that number on the screen, and I'll get back with you. See, I think God cares. This is the whole thing about buildings and such. You know, things like, sorry, I got to reach back here and put my coffee back here without spilling it. That's usually a hard feat for me. Does God care? Is it important to God about the mundane things in our life, these things that are part of our regular work? Does God care that you make that sale at the office? Did God care that your doctor appointment, you get there on time today? Does he care if your car starts or doesn't start? Is it important, I should say? I think we always say, yeah, God cares. Is it important? And I'm going to take you to a story today in 2 Kings chapter 6 that may seem odd to you at first, but to me it illustrates the point that in the middle of our everyday doing what we're doing, certain things happen, and then God can fix it all, and God cares to fix it all. So here we go, 2 Kings. This is one of my favorite stories from a kid growing up. 2 Kings chapter 6. Now the sons of the prophet said to Elisha, sorry, I got to get that right. The sons of the prophet said to Elisha, "See, the place where we dwell under your charge is too small for us. Let us go to the Jordan, and each of us get then a log, and let us make a place for us to dwell there." And he said, "Go." Then one of them said, "Be pleased to go with your servants." And he answered, "I will go." So he went with them. And when they had come to the Jordan, they cut down trees. But as one was felling a log, his axe head fell into the water, and he cried out, "Alas, my master, it was borrowed." Then the man of God said, "Where did it fall?" And when he had shown him the place, he cut off a stick, and he threw it in there, and made the iron float. And he said, "Take it up." And so he reached out his hand, and he took it. So many cool things about this story that I want to unpack for you here. But Elijah, remember, Elijah was the successor to Elisha, all right? And remember those names, Elijah, basically are the same. Elijah, El is the Lord, Yah, El Yah, God is the Lord. Elisha, God saves, Shah, saves. So these two guys become famous prophets. Of course, Elijah is the most famous, but Elisha was his successor, and Elijah had started basically a Bible college for prophets, a place to train prophets in Israel. Pretty cool idea that young men could go and study under Elijah and Elisha, and they could learn how to become men of God and prophesy on God's behalf. Don't know exactly how that school worked, but we know that he had a school of the prophets. And one day, the students, they were looking around and they're saying, "Hey, the place we're staying is too small. We have too many guys here." And Elisha says, and they said, "We want to go cut down some trees of the Jordan and work together to build a bigger place for us to have, Elisha prophet school." And so they do. And they go on this excursion, and you might have heard one of the guys says, "Hey, would you be pleased to go with your servants? Come with us, Elisha." It's a good request. And so they go to the Jordan, they start chopping down trees. One of the prophet students, wannabe prophets, soon to be prophets, he has an axe head that falls off into the river, the Jordan River. What's that mean? It means it's lost. It means it's gone. You can't find it. Maybe it's swept down the river. Maybe it's sunk to the bottom. You can't see it. You can't find it. It's over. The problem is this guy has an axe that he's borrowed, and he says, Elisha, you got to help me here. And Elisha, unbelievably, he might have said, well, you know what? Here's the deal. Sometimes in prophecy life, things don't go your way. He might have said that. But he throws a stick in and he causes the iron, the piece of the axe head that had fallen off, to rise, and the guy can see it, and he grabs it out of the Jordan, and his axe is fixed. Now, here's what I want to talk to you about today, because I think this is interesting. Number one, there's no part of your work day, play day, leisure day, relax day, whatever you're doing today, there's no part of your day that doesn't matter, right? And these servants invited Elisha into their day, into their norm. What are they doing? They're chopping wood. That's all they're doing. They're just chopping wood. And what are you doing today? May seem insignificant, may not seem important, may not seem like it matters, but what you're doing today, I would suggest that you invite God into it the same way these guys invited Elisha, who was the presence of God, represented the presence of God into their world. And so invite God into your world today, and when things don't go the way they should, maybe you had a bad hair day, which I don't have very much anymore, or your car doesn't start, or an appointment doesn't turn out well, or a business deal doesn't go through, or you don't have enough money to pay the bills. Whatever it is today, ask God to come in, because this miracle reveals to us that even something as simple as a lost iron off the head of an axe is important to God. There's nothing today that you're going to do that God doesn't care about and shouldn't be a part of. There's nothing today that he can't fix. Hope that encourages you on this Wednesday. God bless you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.